This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
Welcome aboard, Stephanie. I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. It's good to have you in here.
Oh, fabulous to be here.
John, scooch up a little bit.
I feel like I'm at the kids' table.
Yeah, am I tall? No, are you on the little chair?
That's the only chair I have.
He's
here.
like
You need a phone book.
There.
I spent many a year sitting on a phone book.
He's like Ruprecht the monkey boy over there from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Steve Martin, Michael Caine. Come on.
No,
Don't get that
missed
reference.
That one.
Yeah,
no,
me
you
too.
Either?
Well, he's got obscure things he knows.
That's a weekend renter, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
40 years ago.
Oh, wow. Ow.
Sorry. I said I was edgy this morning.
She's a little,
I'll tell you what.
She's a little full of vim and vigor since Penn State beat Ohio State last week. I
That's
understand.
right. Good football weekend on the way. A little bit more
baseball too, right?
More summer
Yes.
feeling like out there today than fall, I noticed, though.
It's trying to creep
humid.
back. Yeah, it's trying to creep back. We're still in the mid-60s, so I guess we should be thankful for mid-60s instead of low 70s. But, yeah, it's certainly not like it was a week ago.
Humidity makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. Daytime high yesterday, 86 degrees. Probably on the way to that again today. Little in the way of any kind of a rain chance as shown on radar. State of Florida is dry right now, despite the fact that we do have that cloud cover out there and will all day long. In fact, will all weekend long. Don't see much change there. 10% chance of rain, that'll do it. And a daytime high well above average coming in again around 86 or 87 degrees. We'll have the complete forecast for you in a sec.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways. Everything is still looking good. You see volume picking up. People heading out the door to school and work, especially out there on State Road 70 as you are just west of 301 and traveling towards 75. Volume is starting to pick up as people head on out the door. But otherwise, everything on Suncoast is moving nicely with no issues or delays.
It is coming up on 6:03 and topping our news at this hour. We are learning more about the fatal house fire that killed 2 people and another injured on Wednesday afternoon in Sarasota.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says Cynthia and Benjamin Langford died when the fire engulfed their home on Sugar Lane. Investigators say the initial fire started in the back of the home near an open deck. It then flared up 2 more times yesterday morning before firefighters were able to completely extinguish it. The state fire marshal is looking into whether a power outage in the neighborhood had anything to do with the fire. Fire officials also say it appears the couple were hoarders, which may have contributed to the blaze as well.
There was a lot of contents inside the building, and when you have that much contents, it's very hard and labor intensive for us to remove.
It's definitely a scary situation, and you know, it's very sad when anyone passes away, especially your neighbors.
The couple's adult son was seriously injured in the fire as well, and the investigation is ongoing.
Buffalo Creek Middle School is now facing scrutiny for not notifying parents about drugs found on campus. A school resource officer arrested a 14-year-old for possession of cocaine earlier this month. Now, at least 5 students have been punished by the school district after that cocaine was found. The family of one student involved says multiple students admitted to taking the drug at school before. The family, who is asking to remain anonymous, is concerned about the school not alerting other parents about this incident.
If my brother wasn't involved in the situation, we would have never found out. We wouldn't have known that there was a drug in school. You know, that's stuff that I feel like, you know, they have to have some kind of communication with the parents.
A school board spokesperson says it was an isolated incident that was handled within the district's code of conduct policy. The arrested student was taken to juvenile detention. The sheriff's office says there will be no further investigation. Meanwhile, community members are taking opportunities to raise concern with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. It was hard to find an empty seat at last night's supper with the sheriff. It was held at the Police Athletic League facility in Bradenton. Sheriff Brad Stubbe holds the dinners a couple of times a year to offer an open invitation to those living in Manatee County to discuss local issues. One person we talked to said the discussions are more important than ever in the light of recent events around the country between citizens and law enforcement.
Seems like the police get a bad rap and they only see a part of the video, but they don't know the whole story. And they just take that part of the video and they say, oh, police is bad.
Sheriff-elect Rick Wells says he plans to continue the sheriff's supper tradition when he takes office in January.
Manatee County one step closer to getting more affordable housing as well as a new option to do your grocery shopping. According to the Bradenton Herald, the Central Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Board is recommending a developer's plan to build a new store and more housing where the mini L. Rogers Plaza was set to be built. The property is at the corner of 1st Street and 13th Avenue West. Beneficial Communities wants to build a grocery store there as well as 90 housing units. The developer has until the end of January to apply for the $15 million it needs in tax credits for the project. The proposal will now go to the City Council for final approval. New this morning, organizers are pulling the plug on Taste of Manatee just 1 week before the annual event was set to take place. The Rotary Club of West Bradenton says a lack of volunteers and questions over the profitability of the event caused them to cancel it for this year. Instead, they'll take the time to focus on moving and rebranding the event for next year. The Del Couch Music Education Foundation will now partner with the club to host the event. Organizers are looking at moving it to the University of South Florida campus, and we'll get a better idea on that at the end of November. Also, the supervisor of the Florida Maritime Museum is looking to help preserve the history of the village of Cortez by teaching it to future generations. Now, according to the Bradenton Herald, Amara Nash is working on opening a new folk school at the museum that will teach the skills that villagers used to make a living. Now, it includes quilting, sewing, canning, woodworking, and other topics. Now, Nash will meet with a group of potential donors on Thursday in an attempt to raise $67,000 in startup costs for this school.
In Sarasota County, board members and organizers behind the Sarasota Bayfront 2020 project will gather today for a stakeholders meeting. The group will discuss the recently formed Bayfront Planning Organization Board to oversee the effort to create a master plan for the project. Then they'll go over the governance for the board. They will also discuss a recent trip that stakeholders and community leaders took to Carmel, Indiana, to learn more about how that city pulled off a massive redevelopment project and its impact. Today's meeting will begin at 4 o'clock at the Herald Tribune Community Room. In Northport, a grand opening will be held today as the Northport Farmers Market kicks off. Free coffee from 9 to 10 this morning when that market opens. 40 vendors will be on site to sell their products, also some live entertainment on hand. The Farmers Market will hold 3 presentations on using food as medicine as well. That's at 10 o'clock today. And that Farmers Market will be open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Friday through April, and it is located in front of City Hall. Well, happening tonight, some Halloween fun for the whole family at the annual Suncoast Trunk or Treat.
Yeah, there'll be games, bounce houses, a haunted house, and even a special moonlight movie screening. The event will be held at the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex in Sarasota, and there'll also be outside the complex as well on the new multi-purpose field. The family-friendly movie Goosebumps will start at 7 o'clock, but trick-or-treating on site begins at 5:30.
And in Lakewood Ranch, the 10th annual Boo Fest kicks off tonight on Main Street. It's from 6 to 9 and is free. There's a haunted mini golf area, a spooktacular maze, among other special events. And kids are encouraged to dress up in costume. This year's theme is the Wizard of Oz. Thousands are expected to attend.
Popular Pumpkin Festival also returning for some holiday fun today. The event is happening in Lakewood Ranch, where visitors can enjoy a pumpkin patch, pie eating contest, amusement rides, and a petting zoo, not to mention all the food, music, and beer. The event starts at noon and will continue through Sunday. Free parking is available at the Premier Sports Campus, and tickets range from $5 to $10. For the next 4 weeks, we'll be taking a look at the future of our local communities as part of our series, Suncoast 2037. We are exploring the next 2 decades across our communities.
Well, we're going to begin with a piece of local history that has put Sarasota into the national spotlight throughout the years, the circus arts, because Sarasota was first known for the circus, of course, when John Ringling moved the winter quarters of the Ringling Brothers Circus to Sarasota in the early 1920s. Well, now the Circus Arts Conservatory works to preserve the Ringling Brothers' efforts through performance, training, and education. So it'll be interesting to see what that means for the next 20 years.
Yeah, they said in 2037, the Circus Arts Conservatory will have a newly renovated arena with the opportunity for more students to get involved in training programs. And what are your hopes for the next 20 years? Leave us a comment on our Facebook page, and you can also check out the special Suncoast 2037 section of our website.
Well, speaking of the circus, newly revealed images show a remarkable sight of Sarasota and the Ringling Brothers Circus from the 1940s.
Photographer Elizabeth Siegfried found the 16mm footage shot by her grandmother from 1927 to 1945. Siegfried discovered the forgotten crate back in 2006. The scenes will be preserved as large photographic prints. An exhibit simply titled Circus will showcase these prints next month as part of the Philippi State Park's 100th anniversary celebration.
Oh, that's neat. It's fun to find old things like that and then be able to use them to share with everybody.
Yes, and we're taking a look back at time ourselves. Yesterday we showed you what John and I looked like 20 years ago. Today it's Stephanie's turn. Where were you 20 years ago?
20 years ago today, I would have been a news anchor in Toledo, Ohio, and also covering the Olympics. Okay, it's black and white, not because I'm that old, because my
yeah, they didn't have color back then?
yeah, no, it's so old, there's no color. But remember, 1996 was an Olympic year in Atlanta, as we talked about yesterday. Right. The Olympic torch made its way around the country. So I was a news reporter covering the torch coming through Toledo, and then eventually did go to Atlanta for the Olympic coverage.
Wow. Did you have to like change your frame of mind when the bombing occurred? Did you have to go from like covering the torch to
a little bit,
kick into high gear there?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely talked about the impact on the on the event and that kind of thing. So,
but then with a manhunt that was underway at that time,
it was definitely different.
It's kind of scary.
It was definitely different.
That was and was sad that's what we mentioned yesterday. But yet the gymnasts won big gold medals.
Right,
the softball team, Muhammad Ali was there, and yeah, it was an amazing Olympics for the Americans in Atlanta then.
Right, but definitely overshadowed by the negatives. So,
but not
unlike John and I, though, you have grown more graceful and beautiful with age. Whereas you and me, buddy.
I grew more hair with age.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I was too easy.
Extensions.
No, I'll be in trouble for that later. All right, well, we are talking, of course, about the weekend and hoping for some good weather.
Looks great.
So many events.
Yeah, I don't really see any issues here. Just maybe a little warmer than we'd all like to see, but no fronts coming. We'll detail that forecast in a second.
All right, and it's only Halloween, but a Grinch in Broward County is trying to keep one family from showing their Christmas spirit already. We'll show you why it's costing the city thousands of dollars. Stay with us.
When caring for my wife alone became too much for me, I called my long-term care insurance company to get help from granny nannies. Now the most wonderful nurses help me with her care.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. A-N-D services.com.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Your home is the largest investment you have. So when you're looking for furniture, window treatments, and accessories, from America's top brands like Henredon, American Leather, and Hunter Douglas, the only place you need to go is Bacon's. Quality, service, price. Bacon's Furniture and Design, Sarasota.
Let SWC Properties sell your home today. Take advantage of this great market and sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. SWC Properties gives you the benefit of full-service marketing that sells your home faster with the fewest hassles. There are no hidden fees, and now for a limited time, we'll list your home for 50% off. Wouldn't it feel great to save thousands and feel confident with your move? Give us a call for details or visit swcproperties.com and contact us for free information packet and find out why. It's simple. We just market your home better.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by Gulf Coast Honda. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Mom needed more care than we could provide, so we called Granny Nannies. She now has around-the-clock caregivers, and we have peace of mind. Thanks to them, she's where she belongs, at home.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
As you walk out the door to greet the dawn, you'll be greeted by 72-degree air temperature with a dew point of 64. Doesn't feel all that bad, though certainly 64, mid-60s dew points are a little more humid than they would be if they were in the nice 50s or even 40s. We really like 40s. Not going to see that anytime soon. The next 7 days are going to feature those dew points that are in the 60s. Hey, at least they're not in the 70s, right? We have 69 degrees in Wauchula, 70 Arcadia, Mayaca, Lakewood Ranch, 69 Bradenton and Parrish, 72 in Venice and Inglewood, 71 Northport. Punta Gorda comes in at 68 and Longboat Key comes in at 73 degrees. A lot of cloud cover streaming across the region. That's one of the reasons temperatures are so uniform between inland and coastal regions this morning. This cloud cover is going to be with us. It's not going anywhere. It's sort of trapped in a layer of the atmosphere that's just not going to mix. It's just going to stay status quo over the next several days, I think. It's very moist, and it is producing these ice crystals in the form of these cirrus clouds that we see, reflecting the beautiful colors of the sunset. So that's one benefit of having cloud cover like this. Also, we could be a couple of degrees warmer were it not for the cloud cover. So yeah, that's okay too, right? Maybe if you're an observant weather watcher, you might see a little iridescence in these clouds. Along the margins of the clouds, at times you might see a little bit of a rainbow-like effect because of the ice crystals in the clouds. So there's benefit to the cloud cover, as well as a lack of the deep blue, beautiful blue skies that we're normally accustomed to in October. Our Titan radar not showing much in the way of any radar echoes under these clouds. They're too thin to produce rain showers, so that's not what we will see with them. Except down on the very southern tip of the state, toward Cuba, into the Florida Straits, there's an old boundary there that's helping to supply a little bit of lift and produce showers. Two hot spots for rainfall today, rainfall and snow showers actually in down east Maine, and back to the west, the California coastline seeing some flash flood warnings due to some heavy rainfall there. We have a big ridge of high pressure that sits behind a complex series of frontal boundaries. That high pressure ridge is going to bridge over those fronts and basically bring us a continuation of what we are already seeing. That is that persistent northeasterly wind flow, a few scattered showers along the other coast, and perhaps one or two of those showers working their way across the peninsula into South Florida particularly, but maybe one or two of them might make it into Hardy or DeSoto over the next few days. Rain chance at about 10%. That's it. Most of us won't see rain. Sun-cloud mix, we'll call it. A warming trend, or this trend toward warmth, I guess is a better way to put it, continues right straight through the weekend with above average temperatures still in the forecast and breezy conditions as well. Look at the future rainfall forecast. You'll see a few of those showers try to work their way across. The general trend will be for them to dissipate as they make the waterless journey across the peninsula. Forecast for us calls for windy conditions to persist northeast at about 15. Boaters, it's going to be windy tomorrow as well. Maybe Sunday might be a little bit better for boating. And then on Halloween, looks good. No rainfall. And humidity will be manageable, but the high temperature will be warmer. Back to you.
And the costumes will be sweaty, but at least they won't be rained on. All right, thank you very much, John. We have an accident to talk about now at US 19 and Hubbard Road. That is just as you get onto the connector to the Sunshine Skyway Bridge there at 275. Shouldn't cause any problems at this early hour, but be aware that it is there. Other than that, we are seeing building volume already, both directions, 301 north and southbound, south of Bradenton, heading down in and out of Sarasota County. I-75 looking good through Manatee County. As we get into Sarasota, it's quiet. Fruitville, Bee Ridge, Clark Roads. Where's everybody this morning? Taking a late start on a Friday morning, it looks like. And I-75 all the way down into South County is moving well. It is 6:20. Most of us, of course, thinking about Halloween, but a Florida family to the south of us already thinking about Christmas.
Oh my.
Too early.
City of Plantation sued the family, saying their popular holiday display was a public nuisance. Now a judge is weighing in. Brandon Beyer has the story.
The show will go on in Plantation.
It's not only a victory for our family, it's a victory for all the residents of the city of Plantation.
A judge ruling Thursday in favor of the Hyatt family's extravagant yearly Christmas display, claiming the city of Plantation failed to show these 200,000 lights, ornaments, and other decorations are a public nuisance.
She vindicated our family. She vindicated our ability to bring the Christmas spirit to many of the residents here in South Florida.
Come on in to Hyatt Extreme Christmas.
The city sued the Hyatt family 2 years ago, saying the thousands that came to see this display created a traffic problem. But neighbors testified in court it wasn't until the city got involved that all these visitors became an issue.
And then there wasn't even so much as a traffic tie-up. When I go to the grocery store or anything, it was like totally fine.
Now they too were celebrating.
I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. The good guys win.
Mark Hyatt says the city spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to shut his Christmas display down. It's partially why he's now running for public office.
It's the fiscal irresponsibility that's connected to this. The fact that the city council and the attorneys of this city and the mayor and the administration made up their mind to take a personal vendetta against my family and ultimately against the residents and spend almost $500,000 of taxpayer money for nothing.
All right. Well, see, we just talked about it during the story. Like, that would be bothersome, people parking on your lawn. It's hard to get home after a long day's work.
If it was my neighborhood, I'd be annoyed. But, you know, you hate to protest somebody's spirit.
Yeah, you don't want to stomp on somebody's buzz. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
The stars of a popular HGTV show are facing complaints for some of their methods. The customers now saying their services are a ripoff. We'll tell you why coming up.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
It is 6:25, and HGTV's Flip or Flop couple is known for renovating homes, but some customers of their house flipping classes say it's a ripoff.
ABC's Kana Whitworth has the details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, HGTV house flippers Tarek and Christina El Musa under fire with complaints about their house flipping workshops. Doug Stevens says he attended one of their seminars.
You think you're getting Tarek and Christina, you're not going to get them. You're going to get some sales pitch the entire time.
The El Musa's program, Success Path Education, is run by Zurich's. The company telling ABC News, nowhere on any of our marketing does it state that the El Musas will be live and in person at any event.
This year we'll do over 100 houses.
We caught up with Christina at this workshop in Long Beach Thursday.
I stand by our product. It's our tools. It's our system. I've only heard very minimal complaints. If I really felt that a lot of people felt that way, then we would make a change.
And we'll have more of our interview coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kana Whitworth, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A packed bag can represent a lot of things. Vacations, weekends away, but your bag is different. It's a defense against your monthly period. If you experience heavy periods related to uterine fibroids, you may be eligible to participate in a uterine fibroid research study. Qualified participants will receive study-related care and investigational medication at no cost. To see if you qualify, call 1-844-31-STUDY or visit myfibroidstudy.com.
Listerine kills 99% of bad breath germs for a 100% fresh mouth. Feeling 100% means you feel bold enough to assist a magician or dance. Listerine, bring out the bold.
Lunch is ready.
Campbell's Spider-Man soups, made for real life.
Thanks, Mom.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology.
And focus on the Suncoast.
The official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, scary moments on the campaign trail as a plane skids off a runway with a vice presidential candidate on board.
Plus, changes on the way for Disney World after 2 guns were found on parkgoers this week. What it means for those planning to visit now.
And a man wanted in Arizona wouldn't let the police stop him from fulfilling a craving. We'll show you what he did while police were chasing him.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back at 6:31. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
Yeah, along with John Scalzi, I'm Don Brennan. We have a lot of homecomings tonight at the football games. We have football Friday night. Don't forget tonight, 11. But also, everybody's going to be dressed up, so I hope the weather holds for them. You hate the rain or really hot, muggy, you know, when they're all dressed up, all dressed to the
Sweaty
nines.
costumes.
But no clowns.
No clowns. Clowns are not welcome this year.
You know, I think it should be okay weather-wise. We have had some Halloweens here that have just been oppressive. No other word for it. Oppressively hot and humid. We're not going to see that this time around, but it's not going to be dew points in the 40s either.
No, well,
so
the breezes have been nice.
That's great.
That should help.
That's the saving
the
grace. And that will be around again this afternoon and evening and tomorrow as well. So if you're a boater itching to get out there on the water tomorrow, stay close to the coast because I think that it'll be a breezy afternoon as well. We are looking at quiet conditions across the entire state right now. Not a lot in the way of any kind of rainfall. Daytime high today's top out again well above average, coming in around 86, 87 degrees, and only a 10% chance of showers again today. We'll have that weekend forecast for you in just a moment.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways. Things are heating up this morning. You see there in Bradenton at US 19, there is an accident to talk about as you head towards the Skyway Bridge right there. It's at 19, US 19 and Hubbard Road, so be aware of that as you're heading out the door. Also, well, downtown Bradenton's looking good, and the bridges coming over from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton, too, are moving along without any problems. Heading down into Sarasota County. All morning so far, that has been good. Maybe as you head west on Bee Ridge 241, it's a bit backed up at that light, as it most often is, but no accidents or delays to speak of at this point in the morning.
It is 6:33 and topping our news this half hour. On the campaign trail, Vice Presidential candidate Mike Pence had some scary moments after the plane he was on skidded off a runway in New York.
Yeah, LaGuardia Airport, and luckily no one was injured in the incident. Reed Binion has the latest.
Republican vice presidential nominee Mike Pence's plane skidding off of a runway Thursday night while landing at New York's LaGuardia Airport. In the tower's audio recording, the controller is heard telling pilots, "Eastern, stop, stop, Eastern." And moments later, Eastern Jet 3452, we're getting help for you. Members of the press who were on board describing the frightening experience.
Pretty hard landing, and then you could feel the plane fishtailing towards the back.
The aircraft coming to a sharp halt in the grass on the side of the runway, reportedly undamaged, though there was apparent damage to the runway itself due to safety material designed to break apart.
Approximately 80 arrestor beds were destroyed. Arrestor beds are FAA required installations at the end of runways.
Once the plane was stopped, Pence walked to the back to check on the press, then speaking with first responders outside. After the incident, he tweeted out a thanks to emergency crews who responded. Hillary Clinton writing on Twitter that she was glad no one was hurt. Trump also weighed in, mentioning the incident briefly towards the end of his speech at a rally in Ohio.
I just spoke to Mike Pence, and he's fine. He got out. Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
All right, as candidates focus their efforts on battleground states, there's new concerns on where the votes are going. With just under 2 weeks left until the election, new websites are popping up that will allow voters to trade their votes with other people in other states. Participants can sign up online or on their phones and pledge to vote for each other's candidates in their respective states. One site, Trump Traders, says they're targeting third-party supporters who don't want to jeopardize the main party elections in swing states like Ohio and Florida. Political analyst Tom Sutton tells us it's a practice that stands up in court. The whole process is legal as long as no money is involved.
The fact of the matter is that if it's a one-on-one transaction involving just two people with each other, that in and of itself is an expression of speech, not an illegal act.
3,000 people have already signed up on vote trading websites, with as many as 10,000 people expected to join before Election Day.
The Justice Department says classified information stolen by a former National Security Agency contractor includes names of covert intelligence officers. Prosecutors made the allegation in court yesterday. Attorneys for Harold Martin will ask a federal judge today to consider freeing Martin from custody as his case proceeds. Prosecutors say information seized from Martin's home in August is highly classified. Martin's attorneys say he's a compulsive hoarder, but there's no evidence he was a spy.
It's been a record-breaking year for the U.S. Coast Guard, as crews out west have just offloaded 39,000 pounds of cocaine at the naval base in San Diego. The cocaine has been collected over the past year from traffickers transporting it on sea vessels. The Coast Guard has stopped nearly 600 suspected drug smugglers and disrupted the distribution of more than 400,000 pounds of coke. Now, the Coast Guard says it helps efforts to prevent drug abuse in the United States.
Our counter-drug efforts off Central and South America are helping to slow what has become a tidal wave of narcotics that are flooding into the United States.
In the past year alone, the U.S. Coast Guard has seized $5.6 billion worth of coke, which is a record for the agency. And for a third year in a row, the number of children in the U.S. foster care system has increased. That's according to a new federal data released yesterday. A major factor, according to research, is the worsening substance abuse by parents. According to the report, the foster care population rose in 2015 in nearly 3/4 of the states, with the largest increases in Florida, Indiana, Georgia, Arizona, and Minnesota.
Floridians with policies through the National Flood Insurance Program have extra time to file claims now stemming from Hurricane Hermine. FEMA extended the 60-day filing deadline to 90 days. That storm, of course, swept up the west coast of Florida in September. FEMA said given the widespread flooding, the agency was concerned that the 60-day deadline was not enough. Well, if you're headed to Disney, you will soon see a boost in security. That is following 2 arrests for parkgoers bringing guns into the parks. According to a Disney blogger, security procedures have changed just in the last few days. The changes affect Disney World, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom. Now all guests go through a metal detector, even if they aren't carrying a bag. Previously, guests were randomly choosing to go through the detectors, but with 2 people headed in with guns this week, obviously that wasn't working. So those going into the park now also have to empty their pockets. Disney is going to likely change the security procedures daily to help make it unpredictable.
Now take a look at this. A man wanted by police in Arizona didn't let a police pursuit stop him from grabbing a bite to eat. Josh Adkins was wanted for an outstanding warrant, and police helicopter tracking him as he drove his white truck through the streets. It was not a Bronco. He pulled into the drive-thru of a fast food restaurant to grab a burger before he drove to a home where he was taken into custody. The 35-year-old was booked on suspicion of unlawful flight from law enforcement and on other charges that led to that flight. New flights out of Punta Gorda Airport will make it easier for travelers going to the city of brotherly love or the Windy City. Frontier Airlines begins service at the Punta Gorda Airport this weekend for Philly and Chicago. Now, flights to Philly begin Sunday, flights to Trenton, New Jersey begin Monday, and those to Chicago start in a few weeks. Airport officials say they expect Frontier to bring about 8,500 passengers in and out of the airport each month. And Halloween right around the corner, and if you haven't found that perfect costume, it could be difficult to do so.
And it's also going to cost you more than it has before. This Halloween, kids aren't going for the usual witches or ghosts, according to a survey by the National Retail Federation. Here's some of the top costumes. Animals are very popular. Characters and action heroes, of course, topping the list, especially Batman and Star Wars. And millennials want to be more like the Suicide Squad movie. Buying a costume is expected to cost you more. Total, we're going to spend $3.1 billion this year.
And a great story out of Liverpool, New York, where a popular haunted house will return this year with some help from kids in the community. Katie Dombrowski and her husband have been putting together their own haunted house for years. 2 years ago, with 200 people waiting in line to go into the house, an electrical fire broke out, and it spread across their backyard. Thankfully, no one was injured, but it caused $25,000 in damage. The family was about to call it quits when they got a knock on their door. Their 5-year-old neighbor, Lola Angadi, handed over her piggy bank with over $100 worth of pennies inside. Other little kids started following in her footsteps. 2 years later, the haunted house back up and running, just as spooky as ever.
I am so appreciative of people that take the effort to do those things for the kids in the neighborhood, because the kids love it.
They do.
The people who set up the things in their yards and their garages. And I'm not that fun, so I appreciate others who do
But
that.
a 5-year-old with $100, I gotta check my kids' piggy banks. I know, in pennies.
That took a long time for her to save that.
And very generous.
Yeah, great story on many levels. Neighborhood.
Yes, indeed. It takes a village, truly, right? And also, too bad Punta Gorda Frontier Airlines not going to Chicago this weekend for the World Series. Which resumes tonight in Wrigley Field, 8 o'clock.
$2,000, the cheapest ticket I could find, third market,
You were
off
shopping,
market.
were you?
Not to go, just out of curiosity. And that was standing room at $2,000 to stand in the back of Wrigley
Stand
Field.
the whole time anyway, you're so excited. John, you said it's going to be warmer there?
A little bit warmer than it was in Cleveland. Looking a little better. So some nicer weather shaping up for us here on the Suncoast for this Halloween than we have seen in some previous Halloweens. Not as nice as it could be, but we'll talk about the forecast in a minute.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So currently we're looking at an air temperature and a dew point that are okay, they're comfortable enough, 72-degree air temperature, dew point in the mid-60s. I wish it were in the mid-40s or mid-50s even, but I'll take mid-60s as opposed to mid-70s, which is what our summers usually bring. We have an east-northeast wind continuing to be breezy. It'll be darn right windy this afternoon at times. Becky Mayaka was complaining about that, saying, you know, when are these winds going to die down a little bit? And for boaters particularly, I'm sure it's been kind of a rough week. We've had a persistent northeasterly wind flow, and it has been 20, 25 mile an hour typical gusts. So some pretty strong flow across the region. 69 degrees Wauchula, Mayaka, 70, Arcadia, 71 in Northport, 69 Parrish, Bradenton, 72 Venice, Inglewood, and Longboat Key coming in at 72 degrees as well. So a lot of clouds around the area. You'll notice that these clouds are not coming from the northeast. We have winds that are kind of coming in two different directions, crisscrossing the peninsula. At upper levels, they're coming from the southwest, heading up to the northeast. That's where our stream of high, thin clouds is coming from. That's our thin deck of moisture that's really not supporting any kind of showery activity. If we get any rainfall at all, and it'll be more like drizzle or a quick spritz if we get anything, and that'll be mostly in inland areas, it's not going to come from this direction. It will come from lower levels, and it will come from the other coast. Right now, though, everything is very quiet. Not seeing anything here that bothers us. We do have a larger scale system up in the Pacific Northwest and in the Northeast as well. Down East Maine, seeing some snow showers, rain showers heading to Portland, Kennebunkport. Any of those coastal regions, you're probably going to encounter some slow going. Traffic will be kind of backed up there because of rain showers and snowfall. Back to the west, flash flooding, a problem for California. Really in a line from California all the way to Salt Lake City. They have flash flood watches and warnings up. High pressure builds in behind a cold front that tries to sink south but can't as high pressure bridges over it. High pressure remains the dominant weather feature for us right through the weekend. And with it being in the position that it is, we get this northeasterly wind flow. And that's going to be kind of the rule over the course of the next, looks like 7 days even. Sun cloud mix. This warm trend that we have been experiencing will continue right straight into the weekend. And it will be breezy for at least today and tomorrow. Small craft advisories up for areas of Gulf waters 20 nautical miles and further from shore. You notice on the RPM computer model future forecast, you get some showers coming from the other coast, trying to make it into our region, kind of falling apart as they do so. Again, that's because very thin layer clouds, very small rainfall chances. These rains really do need a body of water to sustain them. So as they make it on shore, they fall apart. It's going to long travel across the peninsula in the center of the state, and that's why most of these showers are just never going to make it here. We'll look for a northeast wind at about 15 today. That'll bring you a moderate chop with 2 to 3 foot seas, boaters, and over the extended range breezy for a couple of days. And then we'll start to see some quieting down of the winds probably Sunday afternoon. And on Monday, Halloween, looks good. Rain free, a little bit on the humid side. Daytime highs in the mid 80s. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. We're off to a pretty good start traffic-wise. Seems like people are a little slow to get moving on this Friday morning at 6:48. Quieter than normal in downtown Bradenton. We do have one wreck reported. It is on US 19 at Hubbard Road. That is right as you get on the 275 connector heading up to the Sunshine Skyway, but does not appear to be causing any slow spots. I-75 still moving well through Manatee County. We're starting to see some volume northbound 301 and southbound 41 in and out of Bradenton. In Sarasota, still pretty quiet moving across Bee Ridge, Fruitville, and Clark Roads. Oh, there's the problem. Look at I-75 northbound of all places. 2 wrecks showing up, one at Bee Ridge, and it looks like another at Clark Road, and you can already see the backup. These just popped up. 2 lanes blocked northbound between Clark and Bee Ridge. That is going to be a problem. So listen up. If you come from South County up I-75, you will soon want to find an alternate route. That's going to back up all the way into South County. Boy, that's my fault because I've been jinxing it all morning talking about how quiet it's been. So
don't jinx our health news.
No, I will try not to do that. Well, in health news at 6:49, if you want to know if you were at risk of a heart attack, your child actually may have the answer.
A new study suggests getting your infant's cholesterol tested could be important not only for the child's health, but a parent's health as well. The test involves screening for a disorder known as familial hypercholesterolemia. It's a hereditary disorder that causes high levels of cholesterol, and it can increase your risk of a heart attack by a factor of 10. Children who test positive for the disorder can also indicate a parent's chance of having it, allowing for easier treatment for both the baby and the parents.
Good
and
idea.
You could just get it, as a parent, you could get it checked, right?
Got to keep those numbers in line.
In entertainment news, the man who hacked nude photos of several celebrities has been sentenced.
Ryan Collins will spend a year and a half in federal prison as part of a plea deal. He pled guilty earlier this year to violating the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. Actress Jennifer Lawrence, singer Ariana Grande, and model actress Kate Upton were all among the victims whose photos were released as part of that hack.
Another chance is on the way for ABC's daytime talk show, The View. Actress Raven-Symoné announced on the show yesterday that she'll be gone before the end of the year. She's producing and starring in a remake of the sitcom that's So Raven for the Disney Channel. Her character will now be a single mom of 2 children, and one of whom has visions. Raven-Symoné has been on the show since June of 2015, but with her Hollywood obligations, has only been appearing about once a week. She said that she's had a great time on The View, but change is coming.
All right, keep that in mind. I volunteer for any fill-in.
Yeah, I think you can do all right with them.
Be a lot of fun up there. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we are going to see what's happening.
Yeah, party animals coming up.
Come experience the precision, performance, and power of the Ram 1500 during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Built tough enough to help you conquer whatever the day may throw your way with all the comfort, gizmos, and gadgets you'd find in a luxury vehicle. And right now, get over 20% off. That's up to $15,000 off a new Ram 1500. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
I'm Alan Cohn. Sarasota's new school superintendent, as Todd Bowden prepares for his new position, will show you his vision for the district.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hurricane season is here. We'll make sure you're prepared. Watch our hurricane special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
All right, couple of problem spots to tell you about. This one not causing big backups. It's at 19 and 275 in North Bradenton there, Palmetto area, as you get on the 275 connector. We are seeing traffic 301 both directions slowing down from State Road 70. A lot of problems there. Here's the big one, though. I-75, 2 different wrecks. One of them is blocking 2 lanes. Probably a fender bender at Bee Ridge. It's the one to the south that's a bigger problem. In between Bee Ridge and Clark Road, 2 lanes blocked. We are starting to see the backup that is northbound. If you are coming from Venice, if you are coming from South County, you're going to want to start thinking about finding an alternate route. John?
So breezy and dry, breezy and dry, breezy and dry, with breezy and dry conditions on Halloween, and not so breezy for the rest of the week.
Party animals taking over Key West this weekend, part of the Fantasy Fest Pet Masquerade. Owners dress their pets up in Halloween costumes and show them off. This year's theme was political voodoo and ballot box barbarians. Several animals were dressed up as the presidential candidates. Other costumes include the cast of the movie Up, skeletons, pirates, and circus performers. The festival ends on Sunday. A little political jujitsu going on.
And the only video we could show you from Fantasy Fest was of the pets.
Yeah.
Because the adult costumes are not TV friendly.
Not a lot of costumes.
Not a lot of costume to be had at Fantasy Fest, from what I hear.
John's been there, right, John?
Several times.
Oh, my goodness. I would never.
See, he's being quiet.
Good Morning America's coming up next. Have a great day. We'll see you Monday.